Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. We are the Movie Couple. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And we are here to talk about the season premiere for Game of Thrones.
Dun, dun, dun. Finally getting back to hearing that music and seeing that awesome opening and seeing our characters that we love.
Oh, so great. So let's just jump right into it. What was your overall take of this episode?
I thought it was a good episode. You know, it's the first season. I mean, it's the first episode of the 6th season, so there's a lot to catch up on. There's a lot to wrap up. Some things that I thought were going to happen didn't happen. I thought to see Bran. I thought we were going to see Bran. We didn't. I thought we were going to see the Red Woman do bring Jon Snow back to life. She didn't.
I actually really enjoyed this first episode. Like you said, it's the first episode. So I thought it answered a lot of questions, connected a lot of dots from the previous season, the last episode of the last season. Obviously, the main focus I thought was going to be Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Is he alive? Is he not alive? I mean, when this show was on hiatus the entire time, everybody was asking.
Jon Snow,
he's alive. He's not alive. Exactly.
Is he coming on set? Is he on set?
Yeah, all this stuff. So.
But then I was thinking, because he was on set. I mean, he was dead on set. They had his body there.
But what they shot, I mean, even say if it's 2 episodes, it would only take like a week, and it made it sound. The reports made it sound like he was on set way more than that.
Yeah.
I am not convinced that he is just completely dead. I am convinced that he will be back. And I did a little review with Dennis and Josh and Perry on the Movie Talk site, so check that out if you want to. But we kind of did an over-under on if he'll be back in the first 5 episodes or the last.
Or there might be a possibility he's not back at all.
But what do you think?
I think they're going to bring him back. Oh, over and under
5
what?
5 episodes. When he'll come back.
Oh, if he's going to come back, he's going to come back pretty soon.
Yeah, so you think like under?
Yeah, under 5 episodes.
I said 4.
I think he might even be back like in 3.
In 3 episodes? That's what Josh said too.
If he's not back in the second episode, he'll be back in the 3rd if he's coming back.
Yeah. I really liked what they did at Castle Black there with his core team of friends. Saw his body, brought him back in. They're like, oh, does the wolf know? They're talking about Ghost. Does the wolf know? He knows. Well, you better bring him in here. We're going to need all the help we can get. And Ghost is badass. So if they need some fighting, that's going to happen. And it probably will happen by the next episode.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to, not barricade, what's the other word? Ram through the door and get in there and, fight.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because I want to see that. I want to see that fight. I want to see those bastards pay.
Here's the thing. It's a handful of people that killed Jon Snow.
Yeah. But then they were able to turn everyone up to their point of view.
Did that not bother you, though? How quickly, how easily these guys were swayed. I mean, at first they were angry, like, you killed the Lord Commander Jon Snow. You're a murderer. You're the traitor. No, guys, I only did what I thought was right. Oh, okay.
It was a little bit of that. I can kind of see, though, where he was coming from, that, our oath was to the wall, and that he was bringing in the whole reason why we were here.
But then then
I thought it needed a little bit more. And then all of them were like, "Oh, okay, let's go kill his buddies."
That scene bothered me a lot. I'm like, you're just gonna let it go? You were really angry about Jon Snow being dead like a second ago, and now you're kind of like justifying the fact that they killed him. Let's move on to the end of the episode, which is, this review's not over, but the end of the episode with Melisandre taking off her clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's always taking, when you have a body like hers, I would take off my clothes too. But she takes off the necklace this time. And there's the mirror, and then in the mirror now it's not an image of her, it's an image of much older lady. And then it surprised me. They actually showed her.
Older lady.
Yeah, I was like, you get it, lady. They probably paid her so much money for that shot. Well,
the woman's just like, I don't care. I'll show you my titties.
But her necklace, it seems to give her a lot of power. Her youth depends on it.
Well, and that's also how she works her game, in a sense, is through her beauty and her sexuality on getting people to do what she needs them to do.
Right.
So,
and I just wonder
and I don't think she could do that without that necklace.
So by her taking it off and going to sleep, is this foreshadowing into somebody going into her room and stealing that necklace?
I don't think so.
They're not going to recognize her either.
Very true.
If they come into that room, because she's not at some safe location. She's at Castle Black.
Yeah.
So anybody walks in the room seeing an old lady, but they were looking for Melisandre, they're going to kick her out thinking she's some old hag that happens to, like, somehow be there or something like that. They're going to kick her out, and then now she's got to fight to get her power back.
Yeah, that
could be a thing, too. I mean, I haven't read the books that far to even know if that's just completely wild theory, but, you know, I like throwing theories out there.
Theories are fun.
Let's talk about Sansa and Theon.
It happened the way I kind of thought it was going to happen. They're going to get to a certain point, get in very big trouble, and then Brienne would come in and just kill everyone, save the day. And
you know what I really liked about the Brienne scene? I thought she was going to come in and have this very heroic, you know, battle scene, and it was just going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, she just slaughters everyone. But it
wasn't.
It wasn't. A fight.
She got her ass kicked. And what I really like, what this show really does right, is the fighting style.
It's
a lot of
gruesome.
the people, it's gruesome and it's accurate as far as, like, you have to think she's carrying a heavy steel weapon and she's wearing a lot of armor. She's not going to be able to get up and just, like, run at people, and that's going to take a lot out of you. So I like that this show takes time to think about that, because in a lot of movies we've seen, like you know, these people in full armor and full gear and they're running full speed, and I'm like, you can't run like that.
So speaking about Brienne coming in and just doing this awesome fight, out of the entire episode, which one do you think was the most gruesome death?
Oh, if we're going to talk about death, let's go to Dorne.
Oh, yeah.
Those women, those sand snakes, brutal. I think the most brutal was the spear to the prince.
Spear through the head?
Through the head, because I didn't see it coming. I thought...
Imagine this was in 3D.
It actually surprised me. I thought that they were going to have, like, a quick 3-4 move fight between his little tiny rapier and her whip, and she was gonna kick his ass, obviously. Yeah. But I thought they were gonna let him fight for his life a little bit, you know.
A part of me though was sitting there going, "Why doesn't the other one just stab him?"
And
stab! I was like, "Haha, I called it."
I love the line that she said that. She's like, "You greedy bitch." She totally steal her kill, and I love that. That's these women. They're just like no remorse, ruthless, and they're just worried about, like, not worried, but, you know, their main thing is eliminate what needs to be eliminated.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, you shouldn't have killed him yet, or it was, bitch, you stole my kill.
Yeah.
I love that. And the mother and the other, you know, totally ruthless.
When she stabbed the guard right in the back.
And then she...
killed the messenger.
Yeah. Because he turned around and ran. She's like, you don't get away. Yeah, these women, man, you don't want to mess with them. I really can't wait to see what these four are going to do, because I really wanted more from them from the last season. So I think this season, it's already promised that we're going to see way more from them.
They're now going to become the rulers of Dorne. So it's going to be interesting, because now you have the Dorne coming in, because the first thing she's going to do is, let's go fucking kill the Lannisters.
Yeah, well, speaking of the Lannisters, so... Cersei finds out that her daughter is dead, and she is devastated. She's devastated, and, you know, from what we've seen from Cersei is her sadness usually always turns into rage, which then equals war. And now that she's got Jaime Lannister back, and she has the mountain,
oh my god,
I think she's going to be unstoppable, because don't forget that she just... finish her walk of atonement, and she is just not over that yet.
And that's the thing, though. Who's she going to go after first? The Dorne, or is she going to go after the preachers? Or whatever they're called. The ones that had the sparrows on there.
That's a good question. I feel like...
I forgot their name.
I feel like maybe...
I'm terrible with names.
Yeah, I forgot too. This is a hard show to recap because of all the names. And all right, let's move on to Daenerys. So she and her dragon... are now left in
the middle of nowhere with
another Cal, a new group of Cal Moro, I think is his name, and I like that when she was walking with the two, I guess, guards or whatever you want to call them, and they were talking Dothraki.
Yeah, and they were all talking dirt.
So much shit about her, and she's just like, ugh. And it must have taken everything in her power to not say something back.
Yeah.
But I'm glad she finally did when she got to... Because she was just saving it. She just spewed it all out when the cow got
That's
to
what she
her.
was doing, because she knew where she was going.
Mm-hmm.
But she was saving that trump card. She was saving that wow factor because she wanted to do it to the right person.
Yeah.
And that is, of course, their...
and she's got to understand the custom, seeing that she was married to Khal Drogo. I really love that she's just kind of standing there all defiant and proud, and then they're like, well, since you're a widow, you have to go to the temple and live the rest of your life there. What? She's not going to go there.
No.
So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think the dragon's going to come back and save her? Or do you think, like, Jorah is going to come in?
Jorah, they're going to rescue her from that. The dragon only comes in super dire situations. And right now the dragon's wounded and tired.
That's true.
And you wandered off. Mm-hmm. Why'd you wander off, Mom? I brought you someplace safe. Stay.
So Jorah, you can see on his hand now that he's...
gotten bigger.
It's spread. So, I wonder how many more episodes he's got left. I don't think he's going to make it through the season.
I don't know.
I think he'll turn... I don't know if there's going to...
Oh, no. Through the season? No. Not through the season.
He won't make it through the season.
Even though he... Well, it doesn't matter.
I really like him as a character.
And he's been around from the beginning.
Yeah, so it would be sad if, he gets killed off or, the whole... whatever it's called takes him. But, obviously, they'll save Khaleesi first. Not Khaleesi. Oh, people are going to hate that. I say that. Anyways, they're going to come and save Daenerys, or Dany, as I like to call her. They're going to save her first, and then maybe they'll go back to Meereen. I don't know. But Meereen's kind of a mess right now. I mean, we saw the ships burning.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't know if it was the Harpies that burned the ships, and why would you do that? Because there's no other way, out.
Yeah.
So, interested to see what's going to happen next week. And then we have... this really awesome scene with Tyrion and the spider.
They always have good little talking scenes, because when you get two talking characters, you always get this cool little dialogue and witty.
Yeah.
When you see that they're communicating, they're on the same page, and they're both allies, but they like to wittily tink each other.
Yeah, see who can outwit who in conversation. It's like he's like, well, you walk like a rich person, and he was like, I do not walk like a rich person.
I stole from men like you when I was a child. Well, it's a good thing you're no longer a child, because you no longer have a cock.
Oh my God, that's right. And when Tyrion was trying to speak to that beggar woman. And she was like, get away from me. You're telling her she wants to eat. You want to eat her baby. And I'm like, oh, man, it's gold. And I love that in a show like this that's so dramatic, they can still incorporate a little bit of humor. Mm-hmm. And a lot of curse words. There were a lot of F words in this,
they were dropping the F-bomb left and right on this one.
Yeah, I didn't know that was like part of the common tongue.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck this. Fuck that. The last thing we're going to talk about is Arya. Blind little Arya, who is now on the street trying to beg. And then that girl comes back, who... We don't even know who's who anymore.
It might not be the girl.
It might be the Dario dude.
Yeah, the guy that first was pulling off faces.
And teaching her how to fight as a blind person.
I think, they never teach her how to fight. They just beat the crap out of her on this one.
She's going to have to learn on her own. But you can tell
that she's going to turn into like a daredevil type of person.
Yeah, like super assassin.
But she's going to be the blind assassin.
Yeah. And then I guess once she learns her lesson, they're going to unblind her. Because I really don't see her being blind for the rest of the season. No. And then moving forward to next week, what are you looking forward to seeing?
Well, it's just the continuation of these stories. I want to see more with Tyrion. Tyrion's my favorite character.
Yes.
Just because I just love how witty and bantery he is. I want to see more with the White Walkers, because that is the big climax of everything. Yeah. How about you?
I want to see what's going to happen with Melisandre and that necklace of hers, because they made a big point to make that the cliffhanger. Yeah. So that was a major reveal. I am very interested to see where now there's a whole team formed with Theon, Sansa, Brienne, and Pietro. I can't remember his name. Sorry. Put that in the comments below because I can't remember.
I think you're right.
But now the four of them have met up and she's accepted, Brienne, and so now Brienne's offered to protect her. So they're gonna venture together, and what are they gonna do? They can't really go back to Winterfell. Just the four of them. You know what I mean?
They need to get as far away as they can.
Right. So, good job on you, Sansa, for finally accepting.
They're probably going to be heading towards
Castle Black. They said they were going to go.
Not a good place to go.
They don't know that Jon Snow is dead. They think that Jon Snow is still there.
Murdered.
So, we'll see. That there's a lot to look forward to. In the sneak peek that I saw, I know that they're gonna. They showed a shot of Bran. We went on all last season not knowing what's happening with Bran. Now you look at him, he is so much older.
And he looks so completely different.
Yeah, so it's obviously the same actor, but yeah. So, and I'm not sure if I like the fact that they're saving him for next episode, or they just didn't bring him back in this one.
Well, maybe this episode was more about continuing what was all going on in the last episode of the last season, and now let's get into some new ground and some new stuff.
Yeah, this is true.
But I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see what's going on with that.
Yeah, and hope you guys liked our review. Let us know your thoughts on the first episode down in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more videos like this, and we'll see you next time.